There comes a moment in everyone's life when silence becomes your only companion. You look around and realize no one is cheering for you. No one is asking if you are okay. You stand in the middle of the noise yet feel invisible. But Carl Jung believed that this moment of isolation is not your weakness. It is your rebirth. When there is no one beside you, life gives you a sacred chance. A chance to meet the part of you that you have ignored while chasing the world's approval. When everyone walks away, that is when your soul whispers the loudest. Jung said, "Loneliness does not come from being alone, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you." And this is where your transformation begins. Most people think success comes from support, validation, or motivation. But Jung saw it differently. He said the real journey begins when no one claps for you, when you must build your own wings in the dark. Because when you are alone, the only voice left is your inner one, and that is the most honest voice you will ever hear. The truth is, loneliness has a strange power. It strips away every illusion you had about yourself. You stop pretending. You stop performing. You start facing the raw version of who you are. And once you meet that person, the real you, no one can ever control you again. But let's be honest. Walking this path hurts. It feels unfair when others have help, support, and comfort, and you have none. You question everything. You wonder why life gave you such a lonely road. But Jung explained that the soul chooses its own challenges. The very path that breaks you is the one that awakens you. It is not punishment. It is initiation. Every time you feel forgotten, remember this. Nature hides the seed before it grows. The darkness you are facing is not the end. It is the soil where your strength is growing quietly. You are not behind. You are becoming. When there is no one to motivate you, you learn self-discipline. When no one understands you, you learn clarity. When no one saves you, you learn courage. And when no one believes in you, you learn faith, not in others, but in yourself. This is how evolution happens. One lonely soul deciding not to give up. Carl Jung believed that the most powerful people are forged in isolation. Because solitude is not emptiness. It is preparation. It is the space where your old self dies and your true self is born. Most people avoid this phase because it's uncomfortable. They distract themselves with noise, with people, with comfort. But those who dare to sit with their loneliness discover gold, the gold of self-knowledge. When you stop depending on others to validate your path, your focus sharpens. You begin to see the small steps that matter. You stop chasing applause and start chasing growth. Jung called this process individuation. It means becoming whole, becoming your own person, separate from the collective noise. It means walking your own road, even when no one else can see where it leads. And maybe that's where you are now. Maybe you feel invisible. Maybe you think no one will ever understand what you're building. But you are not lost. You are simply ahead of your time. Great minds, great souls always walk alone first. Jung himself was misunderstood by many. He said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That privilege often comes wrapped in solitude. So if no one checks on you, keep building. If no one claps for you, clap for yourself. If no one believes in you, believe harder. Every day you choose not to quit, the universe takes notice. The silence around you is not empty. It's echoing with your becoming. This is where your power begins, in the quiet, in the unseen, in the moments where only you can see your vision. Because when you rise alone, you rise unshakable. The hardest part about walking alone is that you have no reflection to measure yourself against. You start doubting your steps. You ask if you are even moving in the right direction. But Jung said that the real path is not visible to the eyes. It is felt by the soul. You cannot see your growth every day, but it is happening quietly beneath the surface. Every small choice you make in silence is building your foundation. When you choose discipline over comfort, you evolve. When you choose peace over drama, you rise. When you choose patience over panic, you mature. The world may not see these moments, but they are shaping the person you are becoming. Jung believed that growth is never loud. It is always silent, deep and invisible, until one day it shows itself like light breaking through the clouds. You must remember that isolation is not rejection. It is redirection. Life removes the wrong people so you can meet yourself. When you stop chasing those who drain you, you create space for truth to enter. The pain of loneliness is simply the detox of false connections. You are not losing people. You are losing illusions. And that is progress. There will be days when you wake up tired of being strong. You will want someone to understand you, to walk beside you. That longing is human. But Jung taught that true connection starts only after you have faced your own darkness. You cannot connect deeply with others until you understand yourself. So when life keeps you alone, it is preparing you for deeper relationships, ones built on truth instead of need. When you have no one to rely on, you start discovering your own power. You realize that you can survive disappointment. You can rebuild after loss. You can find peace in the middle of chaos. This is the moment when self-trust is born. And once you trust yourself, no one can break you. Jung called this integration, the merging of your strength and your pain into one whole being. Most people try to skip this phase. They run from their loneliness by filling it with distractions, social media, relationships, endless noise. But those who face the silence become unstoppable because they no longer need the world to approve of their worth. They become their own source of validation. And this is the real secret to getting ahead when no one is there for you. You stop waiting for support. You become your own support. You stop waiting for inspiration. You create your own inspiration. You stop asking for love. You learn to give it to yourself. The moment you stop depending on others to push you, you step into power. Jung believed that the path of the soul is always individual. He said that no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. This means that you cannot reach your full potential without going through your personal darkness. The moments when no one believes in you, when everything feels empty, are the very moments that deepen your roots. There will come a point when you realize that solitude has trained you. It has taught you to listen, to observe, to understand your emotions. You begin to see patterns in your life, how you respond to pain, what triggers your fears, where your boundaries lie. And slowly you begin to master yourself. That mastery is success. Because true success is not money or fame. It is self-control. It is peace under pressure. It is knowing you can depend on yourself no matter what. When you stop seeking permission to grow, you begin to move freely. You stop caring who notices your progress. You stop explaining your dreams to people who cannot see your vision. And something magical happens. Your energy changes. You no longer chase, you attract. Because now you walk with quiet confidence. Jung said that what you resist persists, and what you accept transforms. When you accept your solitude, it transforms into strength. So keep walking, even when no one is clapping. Keep creating, even when no one is watching. Because the most beautiful things in life are built in private. Your strength, your wisdom, your peace. The world will see the results later, but you are already becoming that version of yourself now. And when people finally notice, they will call it luck. They will say you changed overnight, but you will know the truth. You changed quietly, painfully, patiently, when no one was there. You built yourself in silence. You became your own light in the dark. There will come a day when you finally look back and understand why you had to walk alone. You'll see that every silent night, every lonely morning, was shaping something inside you that noise never could. Carl Jung believed that solitude is not the absence of people. It is the presence of your soul. When everything external fades, the inner world wakes up. When no one is there to guide you, you start listening to the quiet voice within, the one that whispers when the world screams. That voice is your intuition, your true compass. Jung called it the voice of the self, the deeper consciousness that knows your purpose even when your mind doubts it. The more time you spend alone, the louder it becomes. And that voice will never mislead you. It speaks in feelings, in small nudges, in subtle signs that only you can understand. At first, it's terrifying to rely on yourself. You question every step, every choice. But over time, you realize that no one else can walk this road for you. Your life is your responsibility. Your healing is your responsibility. Your growth, your peace, your future, all of it begins and ends with you. This realization is freedom, because once you stop expecting others to save you, you finally start saving yourself. You begin to work in silence, building habits no one sees. You learn patience. You stop rushing. You stop comparing. You begin to understand that slow growth is still growth. You learn to celebrate small victories that only you notice. You stop needing to prove your worth, because now you know it. Jung said that the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. And when you do, you no longer chase validation. You become whole. When you are alone long enough, you meet every part of yourself. The confident one, the fearful one, the broken one, the dreamer. You stop judging them. You begin to integrate them. This is where true healing begins. You realize that you were never weak. You were just learning to trust your own power. Toxic people lose their control over you. The opinions of others lose their weight. Because now, your peace is sacred. You no longer enter battles that don't grow you. You walk away from noise without guilt. You say no without explanation. This is the quiet power Jung wanted every soul to discover. The strength of self-respect, born through solitude. One day, you will start to notice something beautiful. The same people who once ignored you will start to wonder how you did it. They will see your calm, your confidence, your progress, and call it a miracle. But it won't be a miracle. It will be the result of your unseen effort, your lonely nights, your unshakable discipline. You got ahead not because of luck, but because you learned how to move, even when no one was watching. Jung said that every person must face their shadow, the hidden pain, fear, and insecurity inside. But he also said that when you make peace with your shadow, it becomes your ally. It gives you depth. It gives you empathy. It gives you wisdom. And that wisdom is what separates you from the rest. Because now you no longer react to life. You respond to it with understanding. When no one is there for you, you become your own teacher. You learn from failure. You learn from pain. You learn from silence. You realize that rejection was redirection. That endings were new beginnings. That being unseen gave you time to become someone worth seeing. The solitude that once felt like punishment now feels like protection. And when you finally rise, when success starts to show, when peace becomes your default, when happiness no longer depends on others, you'll understand what Jung meant when he said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside awakens." You awakened. You stopped looking for approval in others and started finding meaning within yourself. So if you are walking alone right now, remember this: you are not behind. You are being refined. Every silent day is adding weight to your strength. Every lonely night is sharpening your spirit. Keep going. Keep building. Because your time in the dark is not a pause. It's preparation. One day everything will make sense. The silence, the distance, the struggle. You'll realize that life was not against you. It was preparing you for a level that only solitude could unlock. So keep moving forward quietly. You don't need to announce your progress. You don't need to prove anything. The world may not see you now, but the universe does. And when the time is right, your light will be impossible to ignore. That's how you get ahead, even when no one is there for you. You trust the process. You listen to your soul. You build yourself in silence. And when you finally rise, you rise unshakable.